Leftists, when they see a Tesla drive by.
Right now! What do you feel?
Welcome to New York, where you cannot have a thing for nice.
What?
Anything, nothing. You can't have nice in New York. This is the definition of you can't have nice in New York. I feel so bad for this Cybertruck. Whoever owns this Cybertruck, my mans, they hate you.
This is a dealership in Las Vegas. These are Teslas. This is crazy. Here's a photo of the husbands that are destroying Teslas. His wife is carrying somebody else's baby.
They are targeting Tesla dealerships, the stations where you charge a Tesla. They're vandalizing cars. I have already directed an investigation be opened to see how is this being funded, who is behind this, doing this. We have people we're locking up on that. We have someone in jail right now from one of the dealerships. They threw a Molotov cocktail through a dealership. They're looking at up to 20 years in prison. So if you're going to touch a Tesla, go to a dealership, do anything, you better watch out because we're coming after you.
Wow.
And
Well,
if you're funding this, we're coming after you. We're going to find out who you are.
And just like that, the DOJ charges 3 suspects in separate Molotov attacks on Tesla properties, each facing up to 20 years in prison. One of these woke feminists going to figure out that Trump's second term is going to be nothing at all like his first term. There was a lot of effing for the first term. The second term is all about the FO.
Hey, did anybody else write the names of Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Stephen Miller, Nancy Mace, and Greg Abbott on a piece of paper, and then take that piece of paper, put it into a jar with some ash and some dirt from the part of the yard where the dogs like to crap, and then get some dirty toilet water and put that in there too, along with some cayenne pepper and some chili powder, some red pepper flakes, and Old Bay seasoning for good measure. And then take it outside, shake it vigorously while saying some really hateful intentions under the full moon last night, and then leave that out all night under the full moon. And then this morning, pick it up and put it in a dirty, sad, musty spot in your garage? Or was that just me?
That's just you.
Hey, did anybody else?
I don't understand. What? I don't understand why this woman thinks that playing in toilet water and dog poop and then putting that in your house does anything other than make you a disgusting individual. Ew, you got that in the freaking garage. How nasty are you?
Tesla stock is way down, almost disastrously so. People have been vandalizing Tesla vehicles, new Tesla vehicles. Please don't vandalize, don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles. And so,
So I know it's a dark time, but I was saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping.
Now, I just want to be clear. No one at this table condones violence, right? Setting cars on fire, breaking windows, whatever, all of that is bad. But the question is, I mean, is it okay for an American company to just be hated, for people to want it to not do well?
I think go back to point one. When you set a car on fire, you should go to jail. You're a criminal.
Any car,
I don't think we have to
actually.
talk about it
not
in any
just
other
Tesla.
context. And all those cars have cameras in them, and those dealerships have cameras. You're beyond being stupid when you do that. You're going to go to jail, and you now have a government that just got their mandate. They can't wait to find idiots that do this. You're going to spend 5 to 20 years in prison. If they get them on prison, which I think is a stretch, they will have no parole, no shortened sentence. They'll rot in prison for 20 years. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. Breaking in car, setting on fire, nothing to do with the politics, nothing to do with Tesla. You are a criminal, and you should go
What about the broader
to
question
jail.
about the the protest factor. I mean, you heard
What
Tim Walz.
protest? You're a criminal.
I'm talking about Tim Walz and his comments about the Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state. I mean, that's their investment fund.
Point,
what a bozo.
The Minnesota Tesla State Board of Investment, they have 1.6 million shares in Tesla in their retirement fund, 211,000 shares in a non-retirement fund. It's a relatively small amount, but that's one company, one single stock, and that's because Tesla is a huge part of the tech growth. But this is not the first time that companies have been in the crosshairs of protests. I mean, Republicans have protested companies all the time.
And yes, we sure did protest things like Bud Light, but I don't remember us putting high-speed rounds through Bud Light factories or causing them to go boom or causing them to get way too hot and melt. Most people don't see anything wrong with protest. And protesting, I mean, that's as American as apple pie, but it has to be legal and it has to be done the right way. And that is not what these people are doing or talking about at all. Hey guys, I'm sorry. I am like really under the weather. I have a stomach flu. I've been running a fever. I look like a mess. So I'm just kind of hodgepodging this video together. But hopefully within the next couple days, I'll be able to put out something a little better than this. But I didn't want to leave you with nothing. And that's why I missed yesterday.
I'm not talking about the violence. We've already established that. What's the difference between that and Tim Walz saying, I get a kick out of it?
First of all, Tim Walz is a complete moron to me. I have to be very honest, and I'm not surprised why the American people did not choose him. Nothing against the vice president. With that said, Elon Musk employs 80+ thousand Americans. Most of them are working class people. The implications of the stock, let's say this were to continue on for another year, so I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. Will the company at some point have to decrease its workplace? Most of those people, I would imagine, probably vote for Democrats, at least some of them. So now you're impacting people who likely share your worldview because you disagree with Elon Musk. Don't buy the car. Just like those guys are saying, let's protest Anheuser-Busch, et cetera. We're just not going to buy their beer. I'm okay with that. But destroying public property, there is no place for that. I agree with Kevin. Lock them up and set an example that this is not what we're going to tolerate in this country.
I mean, obviously, the violence is completely unacceptable. And these people will go to jail. I mean, you can't burn a dealership and not get caught eventually and go to jail. But it is, again, the broader question here about has it crossed the line when people are sort of rooting for the failure of a company?
Well, first, let me say, until yesterday, I think I was one of the only Democratic elected officials to unambiguously condemn the violence and destruction against Tesla. I don't think you have to be tough on crime to do that. As you know, my grandfather is part of Gandhi's Satyagraha movement, independence movement. He said sabotage is a form of violence. I mean, this is not the best form of protest, and it's not the tradition. The second point is, I'm not going to root against Tesla. There are 20,000 people who work in my district who make a living off this. They're building electric vehicles that ultimately are good for the climate. I have huge, huge problems with what Elon Musk is doing. Have the protest and the conversation and criticism of Musk. Don't take it out on a company where you have workers, where you have engineers, where you have scientists, which are creating wealth for the country, which is helping the climate. And I think Democrats have to be able to offer common sense perspectives, focus on what the problem is with Musk. Don't focus on the wealth of a company.
On the other side of things, here is what the Commerce Secretary, the actual Commerce Secretary, is saying on TV just tonight about a publicly traded stock. Listen.
I think if you want to learn something on this show tonight, buy Tesla. It's unbelievable that this guy's stock is this cheap. It'll never be this cheap again. When people understand the things he's building, the robots he's building, the technology he's building, people are going to be dreaming of today and Jesse Waters and thinking, gosh, I should have bought Elon Musk's stock.
I mean, isn't it a conservative principle that the government shouldn't be picking winners and losers?
Why don't we ask ourselves about the market? It's down 8 to 20% depending on the sector you look at. Tech is down. Tesla's down. We're having a market correction. It happens every 18 to 20 months. And EVs are under pressure because of lots of competition, including from China.
Yeah.
And so there's a reason. It's not just the fact that it's a political issue around Doge.
Well, then
that
why
the
is
stock
Lutnick
down.
saying? Why is he saying that if it's not about politics? He seems to think that it is, because he's saying, "Oh, I'm going to use my platform as the Commerce Secretary to tell people how to buy and sell stocks."
Well, Howard's actually a private sector guy. He's well known.
I get that. He's got a government job now.
You know, and there's merit to maybe having somebody that worked on Wall Street for that long in that position. But at the end of the day, when people say, "Oh, Tesla's down because it's a political problem," I think it's a market issue. And if it has great performance and they deliver cars and they make money, the stock will go back up like every tech stock. What about Boeing? That's even a bigger piece of crap.
Let me ask you, Kevin, because you're a business guy. You talk to all these business folks. Be honest. I mean, you look at Trump's policies, consumer confidence down from the lowest point in 2 years. One day tariffs, the other day not tariffs. One day someone's cutting something. I mean, aren't you hearing honestly that there's uncertainty in the business world? They don't know what the policy is going to be, and that this has
I'm a very transparent guy.
that this has caused a lot of problems.
Why don't you wait till April 2nd to see all the tariff schedules in every country on earth? And at the end of the day, even the British Prime Minister called over the weekend saying, before we get to April 2nd, let me level out a little bit. Let's make a deal before you expose my tariffs on agriculture.
Yeah, but the market's moving
hold that
faster, I'll
thought.
just say. Like, I cover advertising. Advertisers are already cutting budgets. Yeah. They're not waiting.
It's good bacon. I know you like good bacon too. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Red Dawn Daily with your host, me, Dawn Marie, and sometimes Leroy. Oh, Leroy, you had a bath yesterday. You're looking floofy and cute. He's just here for the bacon.